Howdy folk and welcome to Rauta's workout videos. Today's topic is conditioning, getting massaged, stretching and all that stuff. Basically all the other workout related stuff except, sleeping, the actual workout, going to the gym as well as eating. So anyway, everybody by now should know the basic principles. That is pretty much what I already listed. And since some people keep asking me tips and pointers about workout or what I do, I kind of wanted to do a very little short and a little video about it. Now, because of my more extensive martial arts background versus my powerlifting or gym workout background, I think for me stretching has become sort of like kind of an automated thing. But I'll be honest about it. The older I have been, getting, and the less and less I have been doing martial arts thanks to a COVID thing. To be honest, I have been stretching less than what I used to do when I was younger and when COVID wasn't exactly stopping me doing martial arts. It feels almost like I have dropped off, this discipline, this habit of stretching. Nevertheless, I still try to include it in my workout, sometimes as part of the warm-up procedure, sometimes afterwards, and especially during nights, that is by nights before getting to bed and all that stuff. And by no means I don't mean anything too extensive. Just kind of a basic stuff, especially if you have already done your workout or maybe you're having a day off, but you feel some kind of soreness or tightness in your muscles and joints and all that stuff. Maybe you sometimes feels like some parts of your body is like not moving as much as it should and could. Those are kind of like pointers when you really need to figure out whether or not you are taking care of your body. Now, as you get older, obviously, you're not as flexible, you're not that well recovering as you used to be, when you were younger. And I think I've noticed very much with myself, when I was younger, it was really easy to do those higher kicks, even though I wasn't exactly doing martial arts actively in my teenage years. I mean, I started karate around 15, something like that, but there was like 10 years gap between that and when I actually started doing martial arts. I was around 25 when I started it. So now, even if you don't take COVID into account and all that stuff, roughly 20 years been doing that. But past year, maybe 18 months, there hasn't really been anything except sometimes I do something by myself related martial arts. And that's when these kind of skipping to stretching and that kind of conditioning kind of starts easily, slip away. You kind of start forgetting these habits because once you don't include them in your training program or whatever you're having, like daily or weekly basis, depending on what kind of stuff you're doing, it's kind of hard to just stop forgetting. It's like missing out on a routine. Say, for example, when you're summer vacation and suddenly you don't do your daily stuff. Anyway, I still think that stretching is a very, very good and important part of, keeping yourself moving. And it doesn't have to be too extensive. This is something, what in my opinion, people sometimes forget. Maybe it's kind of a myth or whatever. That when we're talking about stretching, it doesn't mean that you have to dedicate some 30 or 60 minutes of stretching to just, get your things sorted out. Just a minimal amount of stretching every now and then. I mean, when you wake up, for example, you got just do stuff like that, and you're gonna feel like, okay, I'm getting my parts of the body moving and all that stuff. Maybe you're like, okay, I kind of feel like I'm, little been sitting too much in the same position and all. So it's sometimes very, very simple things. When you just get up and you do a little bit of a basic stuff, you really have to know through hundreds of, dozens of different kind of stretch movements. You can pretty much stick to some basic stuff everybody should have some kind of understanding like how your body moves, which parts stretch your body. And if you don't know, well, there's a lot of information already online, such as websites and programs dedicated to certain kind of stuff, as well as there are lots of websites and videos to different kind of stretches. You don't really need to become a yoga professional in order to make your body, but of course if you can and want to do that besides your normal workout routine, that will definitely help. Also, I think that recognizing sort of kind of a pain, and by pain I don't mean like you just broke your leg or anything like that, but say you have these kind of sore muscles and stuff like that, or maybe you feel like you're not in condition you used to be because maybe your work or maybe your workout habits, maybe bad bed you're sleeping at, maybe that is putting you into weird positions and you feel like you're constantly, I don't know, in weird ways having soreness or whatever. Going to a massage parlor, and I mean real massage, not the happy ending places, maybe that could do the trick. I am kind of on and off regular visitor of a massage people, because I sometimes feel like especially my upper back, because I do basically an office work, and even though I don't feel like I'm losing my mobility and flexibility, I still feel like sometimes it's good to just get that real massage, open, I don't know if that's the right word, but feel like your muscles like are getting some kind of a treatment in order to make your body more whole again. That is, instead of like being all cramped up like this, you feel like sort of like, okay, I'm moving back and forth and all that stuff. So these are important additions to your normal recovery things, which is mostly, I guess, consisting of proper food in order to fuel up your training and workout, and also of course sleeping enough. That is something that people often kind of skip. I've noticed a lot of people who don't necessarily realize that when you get older you kind of start to need more sleep. But then again, this is also up to an individual. Some people are totally fine with some 6 hours, maybe 4 hours a day, and they're fully operative. And some people say that they're fully okay with just that amount of sleep. But when you talk to them and you look at their face, and you can pretty much see that it's not like their engine is rolling 100%. For example, I've noticed that pretty much the sweet spot for me when it comes to sleeping is around 8 to 9 hours. I rarely sleep at 9 hours. Sometimes I do less than 8. And when I do that, I instantaneously notice that I'm not in proper shape. That is, especially if I'm having a really, really hard and heavy workout ahead, and it's pretty much no go if I've been doing, say, 6 to 7 hours. That's why I don't really skip on sleep, because that's very, very important part of the whole thing. Now, like I said, I don't want to get too extensive on this stuff. I just kind of want to remind you of the very basic thing. Just in addition to nutrition and sleep, you really should pay attention to your body, like what is happening in your body. Like, listen to your body, feel your body. If you feel like your muscles are tight and sore, you might have some problems that you need to figure out. Sometimes it's massage, sometimes it's stretching, sometimes it just helps that you take a day or two off from your normal workout. What is also important, also related to recovery and rest, is to having those deload days, actually deload weeks usually. That is when, for example, you do 3 or maybe 4 or 6 heavy weeks of lifting. You kind of need to relax a bit, take it a little bit easier, like more low on volume, more lower with your weights maybe, and maybe less intensity. There are so many ways to just deload and make your workout a little bit lighter. It sometimes feels like you're cheating. I've been there when you're at the top of your game and you feel like, yeah, I could do a heavy day. like, I mean, I'd be doing this 3 weeks and I could still do another one more and another one more. And you feel like, I shouldn't even do this deload. But when you really do that deload, you kind of feel and understand why it's good for your body, because you're giving your body kind of a recover from all the intensity of lifting and whatever your workout regime is made of. And as such, I think it's very important to understand that sometimes working less is for the better of you. And as such, I don't really recommend skipping deload. I don't really recommend uh, just sleeping not enough or eating not enough. But that's a whole different thing. But in case you'd be just forgetting to stretch and all that stuff, try to have it included. If you need some pointers where to find that information, or you want to need a specific thing in your workout, I may be able to help you, but I don't guarantee. I'm no specialty, I'm no expert on that, but just giving you pointers and what to do. Now, once again, as normal workout themed videos, I decided to include a couple of clips. I think these are like 2 weeks ago, including one of my high volume deadlift set, and then some core training. I will include them in the end, so you can pretty much maybe get inspired by them. If not, anyway, have workout and stay healthy, stay metal. So here is a one set of high volume deadlifts. It's 10 reps for 2015 kilos. This is very, very different than, doing some 3 to 5 reps, even if with heavy weights, because this kind of volume is highly taxing. I know it doesn't really show how heavy it feels because you're doing multiple lifts, but towards the end of the set, you see my pace kind of getting down and these lifts getting higher, and of course in the end the technique kind of gets almost faulty one. But it's fine to do these every now and then. So just you get the idea. And there you have it. Like after a small pause, there it is. So heavy as hell. And as the finisher of this deadlift workout, I decided to do some abs. I usually do a little bit different, but every now and then some toes to bar. And once again, this looks rather easy, but if you have tried it, you pretty much know that it's not that easy. Of course, for lighter weight people, yeah, it's just you can do multiple of toes, multiple sets, multiple reps, and all that stuff. But heavier people will find this difficult.